haven't always been very good at articulating the value of the arts and the value of creativity. And I think our industry has worked hard in understanding what are the value of the jobs that we bring to a city? What are the value of the tourism dollars we bring to a city? The dollars that people bring when they come here and park and eat and then go to see a show. What is the value to businesses that are looking to bring their employees into a vibrant creative center where they will have terrific opportunities for their kids to raise families, terrific opportunities to thrive as a family outside of their work environment. And so I think you can and must, I mean, people do now, I think, quantify the value of that. I think what we haven't done is unite that so that all the creative sectors are sort of pooling their value and their resources. That's, I think, part of what this project is doing that will be important to Milwaukee. And as you unite not only the arts, but the rest of the creative industries in Milwaukee, I think you begin to make a case for, wow, this is a huge part of what we do. And people just haven't looked at it that way. It's about the power of creativity, and I think sometimes in our understandable focus on the bottom line, we neglect to see the value and the interconnectedness of our industries in town. And so I think focusing on creativity, whether that's in the arts or whether that's in, the medical field, whether that's in architecture and design, but the through current of creativity, I think, helps us put a finger on a resource that is invaluable, but often difficult to quantify because we see it's fragmented into so many different industries. So thinking and talking about the way that what unifies that, I think, gives us the ability to tap into what's a real power source, a real strength about Milwaukee that maybe people haven't focused on. I think people sometimes may lose sight of the arts industry, the performing arts that have been here and will be here. We've been around since ancient Greece. We're not going to go away anytime soon, regardless of technology. But I think it pulled people's focus for a time, and I think now people are starting to value again community, to value the local, to value the live as opposed to the virtual. And so I think if we can reach out and if we can stimulate people's attention and remind people why the arts is truly valuable, they will want to spend more of their time and more of their entertainment dollar on the arts. I think we need to work hard to get on people's radar because there's so much competing with people's attention these days. But the arts are really thriving in Milwaukee, and I think they only have room to grow, especially because I think there is new value people are now seeing the value of the creative sector beyond just entertainment. I think there are great advantages to being all in a arts corridor downtown or in a common building because it forces you to collaborate. It forces you to discover shared interests and shared needs and how do we meet them together. I think for me, venues like the Milwaukee Center and places like downtown really feed the lifeblood of a community. We do it together, and it's not necessarily only bound by the walls that are contained, that the Milwaukee Center contained, but I think the Milwaukee Center is a great example of how the larger downtown area of Milwaukee serves that same purpose. You can shop here, you can see beautiful natural landscape here. There's almost nothing that you can't do right here downtown. And I think that becomes then the beating heart of a city. That's what all the rest of the surrounding communities kind of focus on as their identity, as an expression of who they are. And I think that's a lot of the value that you can see just within the Milwaukee Center. Milwaukee can be unique. It already is unique. We already are doing these things. I just think we have to be less humble about, touting what our strengths are, and we have to demonstrate them, and we do demonstrate them. I can't tell you how many people already tell me that they enjoy coming to Milwaukee and the reasons why, and it's because we're different than Chicago, not because we're the same as Chicago. Somebody with an idea and with something innovative to share can start a business, can start a small theater company. Big theater companies can afford to take risks in ways they can't in larger venues. So there's a lot of advantage, I think, to being here in Milwaukee. One thing I think is national attention. I think Milwaukee is very used to living in the shadow of larger cities like Chicago and maybe thinking of itself kind of humbly, perhaps that whatever happens in New York or Chicago has got to be better than what happens in Milwaukee. And I don't think that's true. I think projects like this Creative Communities Project, because it has drawn national attention, really proved to Milwaukee maybe what the rest of the nation already knows, which is that, Milwaukee is doing innovative things, is a vibrant city. And I think if we were to recognize that, if people here in Milwaukee saw that the nation really was looking to what we're doing as a model, as a way of really getting it right, I think it would actually help stimulate some of Milwaukee's residents and some of Milwaukee's citizens to pay more attention to what's going on downtown. The Rep has been here for over 50 years, and I think there are people who are very used to, you know, oh yeah, Milwaukee Rep, it's been there forever, my parents went there, my grandparents went there, you know, it'll always be there. But do they really know what's happening here? Do they really know what's happening at the ballet or at the symphony or in some of the other creative industries in Milwaukee? I think it might stimulate people to actually use those resources more, to take advantage of them, to look locally, perhaps where their attention has been pulled recently by technology, by that virtual world that's been tying us all together with the rest of the world. I think it's time to bring some attention back on what unites us as a community and what is the real value that we have on our doorstep.